the way that I wanted to start a stream. I literally just pressed go live, and then this biggest sneeze just all of a sudden came on, and then you know when you can't control it and it just comes out anyway. Whew, jeez. Right, yes, peeps. Welcome to another stream. Today we're doing the Glow with It Aftermath, which was the book, was the place where I was going last night in Mexborough. So was a banging night. I played some banging donk. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and see you all in the next stream. I'm joking, but I'm kind of not joking at the time. So this event was by far not the best event that I have played at. It was not too good. I think I'm going to sneeze again. Bear with me. It feels like I need to. Feels like it's coming on. It might not lead to something. Ooh, it might not lead to a sneeze. I think it's passing over. Yeah. So Glow with It. It wasn't the best event that I played for, but it wasn't the worst at the same time. It's a little bit of a weird one. So the Glow with It itself, it was a very quiet night. It wasn't busy at all. It wasn't too busy at all, and there just wasn't really a vibe or an atmosphere there. There was a few people there, and that was it. And when I say a few people, like I do mean a few people. Like I'm talking like 10, 15 people, probably at the most. Couple more came in a little bit later on, but it probably never really went above 20 people in the whole entire club. And myself and Layman, we kicked off the night, played an absolutely belting set, but there was no monitor behind the decks, and everything sounded like really reverby, and you couldn't really hear anything. So like it was hard to tell like whether you was in beat or not. And even where like the MC or the host would stand, it was still very reverby, so it was also quite hard for them to be able to tell whether you're in beat or not. It was only really sort of on the dance floor where you could really properly hear the music and sort of tell if it was in beat. So I was doing a lot of just mainly headphone mixing because I could tell in the headphones if it's in beat. And then I'd obviously, then I'd, bring it up to the crowd. Well, the little bit of crowd that there was. I was originally supposed to do an hour, so I was supposed to do 8 till 9, and then it gets to about 9 o'clock, and they said, would I do an extra half an hour? So I did the extra half an hour, and just as the night went on, it didn't really pick up. It didn't really get busy, which I was a little bit. Sort of gutted that it didn't, and I was a bit hopeful that it would, because there was something on just up the road during the day, and I thought quite a few people would take the opportunity to come to Glow with It just up the road after they'd been at this thing in the daytime. But to me, a lot of people went to the warehouse, and there was a Wigan Pier thing on there, and that was absolutely rammed, and they seemed to have a really good sort of like busy night in there, which that place is always going to attract the people. And then it's Wigan Pier in itself, and back to bounce, and people go to warehouse to see that kind of thing. So you can't sort of blame it in other hand. And then there was one or two other things that went down that I'm not gonna say too much about on stream, because I'm not just here to come live and obviously slate the event. And I do feel sorry for the guy who put the night on, because he just everything that went down and everything that sort of happened, was not his fault. He just, I think in all fairness, he picked the wrong date. He just things just didn't go in his favour, but it wasn't necessarily really his fault. Like he'd put the night on, he'd advertised it, he'd shared it about a lot. He'd done all he could do really, to sort of advertise and promote this event, and people just didn't come in itself. Um, you know. But even if I mean, I think he announced his date before the warehouse. But even if the warehouse announces the date, like that's it. People go there because it's such a legendary place, and the warehouse is sort of known for it. And Mexborough is just a town outside of Doncaster. Um, you know, um, so a few little bits and bobs there went down. I ended up going on again. I ended up playing again later on in the night because one of the headliners wasn't going to play. Didn't end up playing, and then I don't think the other headliner was going to play either. So everything just all sort of spiraled and just went wrong really for the guy putting the event on. And like I say, I feel sorry for him because it wasn't really just sort of really had a bit of bad luck that day, I suppose. Just he put this night on and it didn't go as well as he expected it to do. And like I say, it was shared about quite a lot. It was advertised quite well. The only thing I'd really say improve on his behalf is maybe get some printed flyers put up like around maybe like the town itself. Make the nightclub look a little bit more like decorated for the night. Like there was no like glow with it banners or it was I mean when you walk in it does kind of look like you're going to DJ at like a wedding reception. Like it's like a hall. Do you know what I mean? Like you would hire it out for a wedding reception or a birthday party kind of thing. And you've got like the little table with the white cloth on it, and you put the decks on top of it. There was nothing that really, I suppose, in a lot of sense, really made it look very, sort of like entertaining. They could have decorated the club, and then they could have like taken a video and sort of gone round the club, and this is what it looks like if you come in tonight, and you could hype it up a bit more, I suppose. And like I say, definitely put a monitor behind the decks would have definitely helped us massively. But other than that, he really did do all he could do, and it just I mean, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed my sets. I played out some banging donk, and if anything, doing nights like these, even though they're a little dead, isn't always a bad thing for me because it's like it's almost like it's a good place to have a practice as well, and it's a good place to sort of like get that sort of feel for like still mixing in a club and just kind of like getting that feel for it and doing it as opposed to because it's completely different at home when when you're mixing at home, um, and especially for the likes of me, like I can't with neighbours and things you can't blast it up, like you can in like a club sound, and then you sort of get a free range of the mic as well because there isn't really anybody there, so there's nothing to really host, so you can just go on and spit a few bars if you want, and so it makes it quite fun in that sense, and like I say, it gives you a good chance to sort of like test out, like bridge under the water kind of thing, and it was just one of them unfortunate things. And like I say, I still enjoyed myself. I still played a really banging set. And me, I just love music. I love music. I love mixing. I'll mix anywhere, me. And for me, there doesn't have to be a crowd there for me to enjoy myself. I mean, don't get me wrong. A crowd makes it better, obviously. But I just buzz at what I do. I'm behind the decks playing music, and that's just the part that I love about it. And I'm just in there and I'm just blasting out, and it gives me a chance to go on some like sort of more like better and upmarket equipment as well. Like Pioneer CDJs, and then I make sort of like use of the effects on the mixer, which was a really nice mixer actually, and had some really good effects on it. And I wish I had one myself. With all the like different effects you could do, the flanges and the echoes and stuff and the rolls and just absolutely wicked little mixer to be fair. And the CDJs were really nice as well. They were well looked after. They were in a flight case. Everything just loaded and worked properly. The cue buttons and the play buttons. They were nice as pie. Everything about the decks and the deck setup was just you couldn't ask for anything better really. There was linked up as well. There was links, so you put your one stick in and you can link it to the other deck, so you don't have to plug a stick in the other deck. So you got everything in that sense that you wanted. And like I say, all them effects and the channel faders were really nice to use. They were like new, not like they've been bashed and used for years and worn out. So that was a really good thing as well. That just really sort of set everything off if you like. But yeah, but it was just a shame that the event itself just didn't go as well as it should have done. It's a gutting shame. It really is. And hopefully, I mean, if they decide to bring one back again in the future, hopefully it just goes a little bit better for them. Maybe they change a few things up, and hopefully it just runs that little bit better for them, and they have a little bit of a better night. Um, you know, but yeah, it was just a shame, and again I went back on and DJ'd, which I didn't mind because I like being, I like DJing. It's my passion and. Obviously what I do, and I was already there, so it was no hardship just to jump back on and plug a stick back in. So I went back on after Rick Shaw, and I took it a little bit harder. There was some like side trance drops and a few little sort of like heavier drops into some of my tunes, and had an absolute belter of a time really. Mixing in that sense. And then we left. And when we left, I was actually really tired. Like tiredness had just hit me. But what you've got to remember is I was gigging on the Friday as well. And although on the Friday I didn't stay too long, I took it like really easy, and I left about 11:30. Even though it finishes at 12, because I knew I had the glow with it the following day. I thought like I'll leave a bit earlier. Get myself home. And I had a bit of headache that night as well. I didn't feel too good, as I did mention in the stream. So I thought, if I get myself home, get myself a bit of kip, then I'm all set for the for the Saturday. But when we left, I was really really feeling it. We just popped in to McDonald's because Lee was hungry. I wasn't really hungry, to be honest. I was just tired more than anything. But I did just grab like them 89p hamburgers, and just grabbed a portion of chips. I didn't have a drink because I was fed up of drink. Over the past couple of days, I've actually been sick of drink, because obviously I went to the residence and you get drinks tokens, so you can have a drink whenever you want. And then when you just think I don't want to drink. I can't, even, and I'm not talking a soft drink like a Coke. When you're just thinking like, you know what, I don't want to drink. Like, if someone offers me another drink of Coke, like I'm gonna, like I'm gonna scream. Like, and then we'd gone to Pepe's on the way, which is a really nice chicken place if you've never been. And with my meal, because I got two chicken steak burgers as a meal. They're only like little chicken steak burger things, but they're actually more filling than you think. And because and it like went through as if like I'd ordered it, like, so I was having a chicken steak burger meal and someone else was, so we got two drinks. So and I thought for a change, because I thought, you know what, I'm a little bit, I always have Coke or Pepsi, so I thought, you know what, I'll have a 7 Up instead. So I ended up getting two 7 Ups in a little cup with a straw, and the 7 Up, it just wasn't that nice. I don't know if I'd just gone off my drink, so it wasn't really that nice. And I had a bottle of drink in the car as well from on the way, so I was a bit bloated from having a drink. Then we come on and did my set, and then I was a little bit thirsty. So I had a Coke, and then this is the funny thing. This is what had me creasing. Um, so there was a member of staff walking by from the bar. My friend Lee goes up to him and says, do we get, do we get like a free bottle of non-alcoholic wine or something, as we're, guests, as we're, artists, and we're performing on the night, and I thought, like, oh, and then next minute they give us a full bottle of non-alcoholic wine, and then we just take it to a table with, with a load of cups, and we sat at this table, and it was like the VIP table for the artists that were playing on the night. It was just quite funny, because I've never really been in that situation before. And I suppose me, I've just never really had the. I don't know why. I guess I've just never really had the bollocks to ask, like for something like that. And I just thought, you know what, why? It was right. We was playing. We was playing the night. Why not ask for it? So I was a bit like, but it was just quite funny at the time. I was like, he was asking for it, and I thought, hang on a minute, the place is practically dead. They're not making much as it is. They're not really going to give us a free bottle of wine away, are they? But they did. They gave us a free bottle of non-alcoholic wine, and to be honest, it wasn't too bad. Like, because I've never really been a big wine lover in itself. But yeah, we got this we got this wine. Um, but yeah, I just sort of felt like fed up of drinks though. When you feel like, you're just drinking and drinking, and you're fed up of being thirsty and fed up of wanting a drink. So I didn't have one at the McDonald's, and then I got this massive pain in my groin. Like my leg was like really aching, and then by the time we'd sat in the car for about 45 minutes to an hour, coming back from Mexico, by the time I got home and got dropped off at the top of my street, I was like really like in pain. Like I was like, ooh, my legs really aching here. And I was like hobbling up to my house, like, oh, get me inside, my legs killing. And I'd gone really cold as well. I hadn't taken a jacket. I should learn. I should take one. When we're like coming back at these like early hours. But when you're just so warm, like during the day, and you think I ain't carrying a coat around with me, but even if I just left it in the car, like you could go and get it if you needed it. So, because I did the same at the festival, when I was doing the helping out there last weekend, and then it peed it down, and there's me without a coat. Um, but yeah, so that was the aftermath for Glow with it. So I think by what I can gather, they are going to do another one. Like they are going to try it again. Which I think is a good thing. Like never give up, because you never know, you might just do some like maybe it's a better date on the next one that maybe more people can make, and you never know, it might just turn out to maybe be like a better event in itself. There might be just a little bit more to it. So definitely, by all means, give it a go. And if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. That kind of thing. And just take it from there, really. Um, but yeah, that was the Glow with It aftermath. So next up for me, the next booking is actually next weekend. It's next Saturday. at Stompfest, which is down in Kettering. For anybody who doesn't know where Kettering is, it's like in between Leicester and Daventry, so it's like just past Leicester, but it's before Daventry. And I actually thought it was a little bit further down south, to be honest with you. Um, I thought it was a little bit further on than that, but apparently, according to Lee, it's in between Leicester and sort of like Daventry. And we're taking over the yards, and we're doing some layman production performance tracks, and we're raising awareness about knife crime and encouraging people, obviously, to drop the knife, and it's not okay to carry a knife, that kind of thing. Doing our bit, and I will be making a proper stream about it. Obviously, I'll be doing that sort of during the week, maybe even tomorrow. Who knows? It depends how the week goes. I won't do it too last minute. I don't think. Um, you know. But yeah, it's that event, and then the following week, it's a free weekend for me. It's a free weekend for me at the moment. Um, so it will probably be a visit the grandparents weekend, because I've not actually been for a couple of weeks again now. And then the following week, we're at Wizards of the Core in Cleethorpes, and then I've got a private party in Driffield the following day. So I'll be at my nan's again for that one. But it should be alright. Should be good. Anyway, that was the aftermath of Glow with it. Make sure to like, comment, share. Peace.